Greetings. May I have permission from the elders to proceed?
Yes, Mama Nozipo.
Enkosi. Ngiyabonga. Asante sana. Habari gani?
Umoja.
Habari gani?
Umoja.
Habari gani?
Umoja.
Yeah. Greetings, sons and daughters of Africa. Today, we are celebrating the first day of Kwanzaa. Today, we are celebrating Umoja, unity. We are celebrating the unity of the children of Africa from Cape, which is where I was born, to Cairo, yes, Kemet, also known as Egypt, was and still is in Africa, and always will be in Africa. From Morocco in the north of the continent to Madagascar, yes, the island of Madagascar, Mauritius, they're still part of Africa. We move on to the Americas, where Africa's children are, to Europe, to Asia, to Oceanic, Antarctica, wherever her children are. For us, Umoja is not a slogan. Unity for us is a matter of life and death. Unity for us is important. It's an important ingredient to our survival. Unity for us is paramount. Unity for us is essential. We are in intensive care, and unity is our life support. Fortunately, we have a way out. A path has already been prepared for us by many who came before us. A tool has been passed down to us by those who came before us. A recipe that will enable us to achieve the unity we seek has already been conceived, written, prepared, and tested by those who came before us. All we have to do is acknowledge who we are and whence we came from. All we have to do is to pick up the mantle together in unity and begin the tremendous job of taking care of Mother Africa and her children. The formula is Pan-Africanism. The solution is Pan-Africanism. Pan-Africanism is the great protector against divide and conquer. Pan-Africanism takes care of Africa's children, Africa's adults, Africa's elders, and Africa's unborn, wherever they are. Pan-Africanism brings us back home to the motherland. Tabuso Mngwe once said, being landless means being subjected to endless poverty. And I expand to physical, mental, and spiritual poverty. Pan-Africanism teaches us how to take notes from nature, for example. When a single lion is out on a lonely hunt, it may not succeed or may not just catch a small target, only enough to feed itself. But when a pride of lions unite, they are able to bring enough prey to feed themselves and extra to feed the cubs and the older lions. We grew up with unity daily, practicing it daily. We did not read it out of a book. We did not go to college to find it out of sociology books or political science books. We practiced it daily and we lived it daily. It was part of us. Here's an example. During meal times, when I was a child, we all sat around in a circle and we received our meal in one big bowl, one big plate, or one big basket. This taught us to share. This taught us to do things together. This taught us to eat together. Older kids would make sure that the younger kids ate, at times even feeding them first before they could eat. Everyone knew who was a slow eater and would make sure that they had enough time to eat. Everyone also knew who liked what and who disliked what, and they would exchange and share fairly. As a child, some of us even took off from school, taking turns for our siblings to give them a chance to attend school, even as far back as elementary school, because our parents could not afford the school fees and they could not afford the uniforms. Some of the children would wear uniforms that were very stiff because they were passed down by their siblings, and some would wear very big clothes because they were passed down by their siblings. Sometimes your shoes would be so big that you would have to put socks in there and paper in there and cloth, whatever you could find, so the shoe could fit you. And sometimes the shoe would be so small, you had to step on the back and wear it as if it was a sandal. And nobody laughed at you. Nobody said you were not wearing designer shoes. Nobody ever laughed at you because they understood that we were working together and we were sharing together. In my culture, the Xhosa culture, in Azania, some people call it South Africa, before Europeanization, concepts like ex-spouse, step-relative, adopted family member, those were unknown to us. Women who were unable to conceive were automatically presented with a child in the family so that they could directly nurture that baby. Women who had difficulty with their amount of milk, that was not a problem. Other women who had enough milk would share their milk with your baby, especially if you had twins. They would share the milk with your baby. Directly, not squeeze it in a bottle. They would share with the baby because breastfeeding is not just drinking. Breastfeeding is part of bonding. Breastfeeding is part of nurturing. Breastfeeding makes the child feel safe. Pan-Africanism preserves our memory of we and what we can accomplish. Pan-Africanism reminds us of the time, of the pre-colonial times, of the pre-enslavement times. Kwame Nkrumah tells us, if we are to remain free, if we are to enjoy the full benefits of Africa's resources, we must unite. When my country compatriots had to flee from Azania to neighboring African countries, we were welcomed in the spirit of Pan-Africanism by whatever country we went to, be it Botswana, be it Tanzania, wherever we went, we were welcomed in the spirit of Pan-Africanism. Southern African freedom fighters from all the countries that were still colonized by the British and the Portuguese, those fighters fought together. They fought battles against colonialism together. They fought against the apartheid regime together. They fought against the Portuguese in Angola and Mozambique together. They fought against the British in Zimbabwe together. This is umoja that we need to reclaim in order to leave our motherland better than we found it for our children and their children's children. Those who came before us have clearly told us that we are anti-nobody. We are pro-Africa. They have told us that we must unite now or we shall perish. They have stressed that we cannot go it alone. To do so will limit our horizons, curtail our expectations, and will threaten our liberty. This is what Pan-Africanists have taught us throughout history. Africa must unite. Africans, wherever they are, must unite. Umoja!
Umoja!
Asante.